start with Cheetah Craft. Cheetah, we're hearing that the Galveston Ferry just resumed operations. That's some good news. Conditions improving along the coast. What else can you tell us about where Nicholas is?
And you know what? To your point, things are improving. This live shot, very different than what I would have shown you even just about an hour ago. This is a live look over Moody Gardens, and this is what I want you to take note of. So you see the clouds in place. Visibility is really improving. You can clearly see. But notice here, even in the parking lot, so this is where you would typically park to walk into Moody Gardens, you can still see a little bit of high water here. Not bad. I mean, you can clearly see the spots, but just saying that's exactly what we're dealing with. Now, that flash flood warning that was pretty much over portions of Galveston, Chambers, and Southeast Harris County, that has expired. The National Weather Service just expired that about 2 minutes ago, right at 9 o'clock. So the only warning that we have in place right now is now east into Louisiana. So it is east of Winnie into Beaumont. Otherwise, look at our conditions. We are really drying up. I think that is the big story now. Rain is shifting east. It is going to be a serious threat for all of Louisiana, especially as we get into the afternoon. So we'll be watching that. Here locally, the winds are still breezy. They're still gusty, enough to kind of move some of that debris here and there. So if you want to hunker down through about lunchtime today, that may be a good idea until these winds start to back down, because sustained winds at Bush Intercontinental Airport at 28, 23 in Galveston, 20 in Tomball. So that's still pretty breezy there. 20-mile-per-hour winds in Sugar Land, and those are sustained winds. So I'm going to bring in a meteorologist, Tim Pandages. We've kind of been going back and forth this morning, but I think the big story right now with Tropical Storm Nicholas, we are seeing a big shift eastward with pretty much everything that we've been showing all morning long, but especially right now. So.
Right, all the heavy rainfall, Cheetah, is to the north and to the east of that center, and all of the heaviest rain, widespread heavy rain now along I-10 through Lake Charles, and that's where the significant flood threat is. We talked about how this was over our area yesterday, down to the south of Matagorda and Brazoria. It's shifted, and it's very unusual to see a high risk. Nonetheless, for 2 days in a row in southern Louisiana now, and shifting closer to New Orleans with moderate risk. Now, winds sustained, as Cheetah just talked about, up and over 20, even close to 30 miles an hour at the airport at Bush. Then you factor in gusts. This is like a 15-minute gust or so. Nearly 40-mile-per-hour gusts there at Bush and 35 at Tomball. So not as strong as they were earlier, and coming in just under tropical storm thresholds, which is 39 miles per hour or greater, but nonetheless, it's still a breezy day. And look at some of these gusts that we had earlier. Now, this was a maritime reading at Matagorda Bay just before landfall, so the strongest the storm was right at this point. And then even after that, Magnolia Beach, Port O'Connor saw hurricane-force wind gusts up and over 70 miles an hour. We'll talk about where the storm's headed and how our weather improves in your full forecast in a few minutes. Steph?